We're actually recording now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that's good. We do have a special guest with us today. It's Noah McCone, my son.
Shalom.
Yeah. So he's the youngest of the biological children at 21 years of age.
You act like Noah's never been on the show before.
Well,
Yeah.
he's rarely on in person, though.
It is very true.
Yeah. Trying to get him to speak in the mic, though, that's going to be a whole thing.
I'm sorry. I'm trying to eat this thing, man. I'm trying to eat this
Yeah,
thing.
he doesn't want his mouth noises.
We can make it an
noises.
ASMR podcast. Yeah.
Yeah, he wants those mouth noises. Oh, that's nice.
Oh, yeah. Get that ASMR. All right. This is too much.
Yeah, it was always too much.
Yeah. No,
It was never not too much.
Oh, well.
Yeah, you got to stop eating before we start.
What the fuck, man?
Well, to be fair,
Tell
we
me that
were going to
before.
wait, and then we decided to not wait. So,
Well,
like,
no, are we still
could've
going to wait?
waited.
We can still wait. Believe me, this is all ultimately quite editable.
Nah, I think I just heard Nick walk in.
No, you heard Nick walk in. You also heard Bradley walk in.
I did not hear that.
He's a strong walker.
No.
Hi, Brad.
We're gonna put some effort in my steps.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I like it.
Okay.
That's
Sarah, I think they'll tell you what you heard, okay?
Yeah, clearly.
Yeah. I mean, you're a woman. How could you know?
Yeah, takes.
My perceptions can't be trusted.
Yeah, but Brad, if you're gonna eat something, could you eat it quietly, like somewhere else?
That's what I'm gonna do. Yeah.
Okay.
You do realize that we don't hear that on this end at all.
Oh, really? You don't?
No.
Nope.
Oh. Okay. Then Brad, just carry on.
All right.
Yeah.
That's judgment.
Yeah. You hearing any of that?
No.
All right. Nick's here.
I heard the dishes. Tell him to stop using dishes.
Tell him
Brad, I
to just
deliberately
eat out
moved
of
up
the
here so I
fridge.
wouldn't bother you, right?
Out of the fridge with your bare hands. Make sure you rip the packaging with your teeth, but quietly.
Just take the hoard of food to the basement.
What do you mean you can't go down there with cold pizza? We gotta wait for Bradley to finish microwaving the fucking pizza before we can start.
Wait, what? He's too good for cold pizza?
This is
What
Yeah,
the fuck?
he's
All of a sudden now it's gourmet pizza only in the basement? That what I'm hearing? Too good for cold pizza, huh? Okay.
Yeah, way too good for cold pizza. Yeah, that's
kids these days. Am I right?
That's fine.
yeah. Well, I mean, sure, we relocated the podcast to make it easier for him.
I love you, Brad.
So now he's really freaking out because we're giving him a hard time.
As you should.
Well, I think so. I mean, what else is a stepfather good for a 17-year-old boy? But
I eat pizza frozen. Okay.
Frozen. Oh,
Straight out the fucking freezer.
that's,
Yeah.
that's
Ghoul.
the next level.
Okay.
like a pizza ghoul.
Yeah.
All right. Well, and I'm sure Bradley will be done. He hasn't even actually started the microwave yet.
Oh my God, I hear the beeps in the fucking background. Jesus Christ, dude.
Yeah, so we're gonna get the microwave going. Then we'll get after a minute, we'll get the pizza out of the microwave.
A minute.
I hadn't realized that you guys were doing your podcast from the back of a fucking kitchen.
Right. We're coming to you live from Ziff's, ladies and gentlemen. We flew all the way down right there to Invercargill, New Zealand, the southernmost restaurant in the Southern Hemisphere, which makes it the southernmost restaurant in the world. You're hearing the sound of some delicious kiwi tendies being grilled up right now in that microwave. So tasty. And they're proud sponsors of a Shin Show for more than a billionth of a millennium.
Chef Mike. It's all being prepared by Chef Mike. Here's a little pro tip for you. When you're at a restaurant and you think that something ain't cooked enough and you want it sent back and cooked more, you know what your waiter does? He gives it to Chef Mike.
And what does Chef Mike do to it?
Chef Mike uses his magical powers to make it hotter, and then he brings it right the fuck back out. He or she.
Yeah, I got it. So Chef Mike is short for Chef Microwave.
Yes.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Gordon Ramsay.
All right.
Gordon Ramsay, dude.
I love you, Brad.
I love the sound of pizza in the basement.
That's right. I like it better in the basement than I do in the kitchen. All right. So anyway, the chicken tendies, or rather the fresh kiwi pet tendies, have been prepared and carried down into the sub-basement of Ziff's. And it's time, I think, to welcome you to a Shin Show. That's right. It's a Shin Show. And so should I welcome everyone to the Shin Show?
I think
Should I?
You're doing a good job so far.
All right.
Yeah.
Very good. Welcome to a Shin Show. I'm your host, Pete Shin, from an undisclosed location on the East Coast, joined by wife Elsie. She is kind of
Wife,
waifish.
wife.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm also married to her, so that makes her my spouse. And she's in the upstairs bedroom because we just don't have the technological capability to have three people around the microphone in the dining room. Hi, Elsie.
Hello. Can I also make a quick comment that I saw Noah experience what I experience every week, which is hearing the harmonica both directly next to you and in your headphones. It's
yeah,
intense.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
It's so good.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
No, I
The fact
loved
that
watching
you're
your face.
apologizing.
Yeah, well, he's Canadian, so he's going to apologize a lot. And then we're counting on a number of apologies during the show.
Yeah, it's valid. I actually have a quota, but we don't talk about that.
Yeah, we
So
don't.
that's behind the scenes shit,
Behind the scenes Canadian shit. So anyway, joining us, son Noah, who, as he mentioned, is Canadian, but lives in Florida. It's one of those things. And then from an undisclosed sub-basement, bomb shelter, bunker location, deep beneath the cornfield, somewhere in the Midwest, we're joined by daughter Sara and son Nicholas. Hello, Sara.
Hello.
Hello, Nicholas.
Hello.
All right, good. Well, all right. Introductions have been, effective.
Thoroughly introduced.
Like they are every single fucking time,
Well, yeah.
consecutively. You know
Yeah,
what
well-
consecutively means? That means one right after the motherfucking other.
Right.
Every time.
Right. Well, I like consistency. I'm a person of routine. And two, in the
A and
unlikely
two, huh?
event, in the unlikely event that we ever have any listeners besides Chris, Ben, Danielle, and Cindy, if we ever have more listeners to that, they're going to be asking, hey, who the fuck are these assholes anyway?
I think they're going to be more concerned with what we're saying rather than who we are.
We don't say anything controversial on this podcast, as a rule.
I don't know. There's a couple.
Should we start
controversial
doing it?
Should we
I mean,
start?
controversy. All right, now that sells, man. Okay, people listen to that shit.
Yeah. It's like, sex sells.
Or
But
CNN.
they got to know about it, though. They have to know that it exists for it to sell.
Well, you have a point there. So marketing, maybe we got to work on our marketing budget. I don't know. All I know is I think I owe all of our listeners another hoodie. I'm pretty sure.
You keep saying that. You keep throwing hoodies, splashing hoodies on everyone like that's just going to sprout some new listeners.
Well, I like to make it rain hoodies. You know what I mean? When I go to the strip club, I just bring a bunch of hoodies.
Yeah,
Gross.
I tip with hoodies.
I'm sure
I'm
that
sure-
gets you.
How often are you going to the strip club, honey?
Oh, just often enough. Well, we don't have very many hoodies, so not very often, obviously.
You got to bring at least 100 hoodies with you every time you go
I mean, that's a big investment.
if you want to get any action at all
Right. That's at
from
least
someone who's not a sea creature, from not one of the sea creatures that they dredged up out of
Right.
the Tuesday afternoon squad.
Right, exactly. You got to bring 100 hoodies, and they're at least $25 a pop. So that's what, $2,500 just for one visit to the strip club.
Yeah. Otherwise, you're going to get the one in the neck brace,
Have you ever thought that maybe it would just be a cheaper investment to just throw money at them?
Yeah, well, I don't know. I mean, but that's marketing.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, you can't market money.
Oh, no, but what you could do is make Shin Show bucks, and go to the strip club with that.
You know what's best about that is the fact that our acronym is ASS. So it comes
Yeah,
up
I'll
ASS.
Shin Show.
True.
Yeah,
Ass
that is
bucks.
true.
Ass bucks.
I
And it's just a
like that
picture
right
of your
there.
face.
You should get the Shin Show logo, but it's like a stripper.
Yeah.
I mean, that'd be wonderful.
Well, we've got a lot to work on
Maybe
already
just
in
a
this
donkey
podcast.
too.
You know what we should really start with? Personal news. It's what we do. We start with news that's personal to us, things that other people don't know that is going to be new to them, but is not new to us, but is information that other people will find to be new. Personal news.
Did you just mansplain news to us, man?
I sure did.
It's kind of
Personal
his
news.
thing. I feel like this is kind of a mansplain episode, quite frankly.
The mansplaining
Can
episode.
someone explain what mansplaining is to me? Can someone mansplaining to me?
Well,
I would
it's-
love to
Wait,
mansplaining to you.
Yeah, Sarah has to explain this.
Okay,
Well,
please. I'm all ears.
All it is when somebody who's not the same gender as you explains something to you that you already know, but that they assume that they know better because of their gender.
Well, what if you're just assuming that they assume they know better because of their gender, when in reality they're assuming they know better because they think you're stupid?
Guess
All right.
what? Men always think women are stupid.
Well, that's not true.
Exactly.
That is not true. I'm a man. I don't always think women are stupid. I think
That's
stupid
because-
people are stupid, and that is not exclusive to gender.
Well, that's
Okay,
fair enough.
that is
very
fair.
valid points from the Nick.
Yeah, that's true.
But I
Well,
guarantee you have mansplained shit to Taylor.
Only if she was, not well educated on the subject. I'd
Uh-huh.
mansplain things to men too. If someone doesn't get it, then you have to break it down for them, whether they're a man or a woman. It's just
You're
that
right.
simple.
The term mansplaining isn't in and of itself inherently sexist, but when women deal with that shit, especially in the workplace, is kind of where it comes from all the time.
No, I get
Like,
what you're saying.
It's just
I get what you mean. I do see it happen.
Look-
Well, I mean, not really in my line of work, but like on TV.
Yeah.
Murphy would like to interject and say, like, when when a young man tries to help her check her oil, like she doesn't know what the fuck she's doing.
Okay, yeah, that's
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, but let me really break it down for you, okay? Because I don't think this
Go
topic
ahead.
has been
Go ahead.
properly
Mansplain it to us.
mansplained yet. You see, kids, sometimes men think that they know more than women.
Big, strong
Because
men.
they do.
Big, strong, virile, athletic men.
Yeah, towering infernos of form and function.
No more than their waifish counterparts.
That's right. And when they do, they feel obligated out of a sense of compassion.
Superiority.
Of superiority. Yeah.
And compassion tinged with superiority to explain what it is that you're missing about the situation. Does that make sense?
Just like God intended.
Yeah. Like God intended.
That's right. So anyway, that's I think we've really covered mansplaining.
Yeah,
pretty
we
well.
have. That was pretty good. That was pretty
Thanks.
Yeah, your father should know. He does it to me all the time.
Exactly. I'm an expert on it.
Okay.
Yeah.
A professor, if you will.
Professor of mansplaining, Dr. Peter Shin. That's
Get your
right.
ass
Squire.
bucks here.
Making it rain them ass bucks at the strip club.
That's
You'll
right.
find me either in class mansplaining things to my wife or throwing ass bucks on strippers and mansplaining to them why they need to listen to my podcast.
And don't think you can't do it at the same time.
Right. So just to refresh the listeners, the ass bucks are a shin show bucks, which of course the acronym is ass. So ass bucks while you're mansplaining. That's where we're at right now. But on to the personal news, because this is how we started with personal news, with me mansplaining what personal news is.
Wonderful.
So who would like to start? Should it be me?
Yeah, you go ahead.
All right. So my personal news is that my 21-year-old son came and visited, and he's sitting right next to me.
How long of a
That's
drive
also
is
my
that for you?
personal news, man.
Yeah. What's that, Nick?
How long is a drive is how long of a drive is that?
Well, see, so the thing is, it's 12 hours if you can stay awake the whole way. But I started driving at night, and I just don't got that shit in me anymore. So I had to like sleep for about 4 hours between parking lots.
Yeah.
okay.
So he called us and said, "Hey, I'm going to be in about 9 o'clock. Just look for me about 9." And then, like at 9 the next morning, we called him and like, "Oh yeah, man, I'm in North Carolina." So it was cool because he got some rest, which was better. But we were a little worried that he was dead.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
don't
how
want
many
to.
times-
You don't want to leave at night. You want to leave in the morning. You want to get a very, very good night's sleep and then wake up early in the morning and then just.
Yeah, no, I know it's right. That's the right thing to do, but I'm just bad at it. I'm bad at. I can't sleep.
At the planning?
And I know there's like a thing I got to do in the morning. That's like.
Oh
really-
yeah. Well, that makes sense.
Yeah. So anyway, he's here with us in the flesh.
Cool. Yeah. You guys
that's-
extended the idea that I should also make a road trip up there since I now have the time, which I do. But my shitty car has 250,000 miles on it, so I don't
You
think.
might make it to Tennessee.
Right.
Right, and then the Greyhound runs from Knoxville. You know, if you
Yeah.
can,
Yeah.
and Nashville. If you can make it to Nashville,
What if you
16
just
hours, I
Greyhounded
think
the
you
whole
could.
way?
I could make it
It's
to
really-
Nashville.
It's really like the mountains and shit of wherever that southern area is, wherever
a little
those
faith,
are.
trust, and pixie dust, you know,
Yeah.
and some oil and some bubble gum.
well,
I could make it to
however you get
Tennessee.
here, you'd be welcome, obviously. So, you know, we're glad to have Noah here. Elsie, though, has separate personal news, and then I've got some real personal news.
Oh,
Yeah,
Okay.
but I mean, not that.
deep.
I mean,
Now that you've
mean-
introduced the fact that, like, I feel like this is a 12-page research paper, dude. I
Do
feel
you?
like we're just now getting through the abstract, and now we're moving on to the introduction.
Yes, that's true. Yeah.
Elsie, what's your personal news?
Thank you.
So first of all, my first personal news is that Peter actually invited me to have my own personal news. So that's pretty big. Yeah.
He felt bad after
and-
mansplaining.
No, I didn't
I
feel
think that's
bad.
true.
No,
That
that's
had to
not.
be
He
not
felt
true.
like he
Opinion
did
was-
what he had to do.
No guilt.
And
As
now
a
he's giving
man.
you
So
your
true.
platform. Yeah. Okay.
So good. Yeah. So yesterday we had my unexpected second 40th birthday party 4 months after the fact, because some friends that couldn't go to the drag brunch with us had us over, and she got me tarot cards and all sorts of crystals and all sorts of like fun, new agey, witchy, whatever you want to call them, activities, of which I will enjoy very much.
Yeah. So just to be clear, that for Elsie's 40th birthday, we went to a drag show brunch, which we discussed previously. But our guests that we went to yesterday, our putative guests, if you will, our invited guests, 2 of our invited guests couldn't make it. And so they threw a faux birthday party for her because they couldn't make the original brunch.
Yeah,
Dude, are
I'm
you-
struggling to understand why you just explained the thing that
Yeah.
Elsie just fucking said. Why?
It really
like,
is mansplaining.
why in the fuck would you
Right?
want to do that?
We're doing it. We're doing it.
See,
Committed.
mansplaining.
Like, yeah, she just said a thing and then you just resaid it.
Yeah.
You know.
You know why? Because I'm helping her find her voice.
We need to hear the male perspective on it after the fact, man. I mean, that's
I-
important.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
just for clarity's sake. That's all.
All right.
Yeah. So, Nick, how about your personal news? Well, how's the bowels? Let's get an update on the bowels, first of all. I mean,
Well, I did take a relatively fat shit this morning.
that's
That's why I
progress.
was late. Yeah.
Dude, same.
The feeling has gotten better, you know. I never went to the doctor, so I'm, you know, I don't know. I'm just out dieting this thing, eating a lot of spinach. I'm
Yeah.
strong to the finish because I eat some spinach. I eating a lot of grapes, a lot of apples. But then I found Fiber One bars at the store. Want fiber? Yeah, you eat them fucking Fiber One bars.
Oh, yeah,
I'll tell
buddy.
you what, and they're delicious. So been doing that. But what I've also been doing is I've been watching a shitload of Hell's Kitchen,
I see.
which
And-
like is one of those like TV shows that they edit really hardcore to like pander to their audience, which like makes me hate it, but I can't stop watching it. I don't know why. I fucking love that show and I hate it at the same time.
Do you think it's stimulating your bowels, though? That's the-
No, definitely
Maybe
not at all.
maybe just your palate.
Like the level of editing they do, like I don't know if anyone here on this podcast has seen like a lot of Tim and Eric, but like
Oh.
Tim and Eric is a show on Adult Swim that like they were like the pioneers of cringe comedy, you know, like just doing weird awkward shit and editing it all fucked up to make it so cringe that it's funny.
Yes.
Hell's Kitchen does that unironically, you know? They edit their
Right.
shit so that it's so fucking cringe, but they think, you know, they're doing it for, you know, I don't know why they're doing it, but it's not good, but I can't stop watching. So that's what I've been doing.
Okay.
And
that's
Avatar also is on Netflix.
the Last Airbender.
Mhm.
Watching the shit out of that.
Okay.
So good.
Well, yeah. So I've continued to watch Full Metal Alchemist, the originator, not the imitator, the OG.
Mm.
You know,
Mm.
I want to like it. I liked the first couple episodes, but when we go back to how they, you know, get into the whatever the army is, and It's just not doing it for me.
So wait,
It's
why are
because
you
you're not
watching
watching Brotherhood.
That's what I'm saying. Why are you watching the original, not
You're
Brotherhood?
not watching the succinct version. The
Well-
succinct version is Brotherhood.
Okay, fine. Brotherhood it is.
Yeah, there's a lot
it's
of
prettier.
filler in the original, but you can skip through quite a few of those episodes.
Yeah, but you don't know which. See, this is the
Well,
thing
Yeah.
about some animes
And-
is you don't know which ones are filler and which ones aren't.
And
Sometimes
it-
they throw filler in there. You know, you don't
It's
need
true.
to watch that. Doesn't advance the story whatsoever.
But sometimes too, like in the original, it didn't even conclude really. Versus in Brotherhood, it actually has like a decent conclusion.
yeah.
Like that was my biggest problem with the original.
All right. Well, so I don't know if I'm going to continue watching that or not. I just
Yeah,
don't know.
I don't know.
What I do
Yeah.
know is that we've not heard from Sarah and her personal news.
The biggest personal news I have is that we bought this new game called One Night Ultimate Werewolf.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. I already forgot about that.
One Night Ultimate Werewolf. Now,
Yeah,
did you play this game with your mother? I thought I saw something on Facebook that suggested that was the case.
I did, and then I also played it with Murphy's family, and it was a hit. If you guys need a party game, 10 out of 10 would recommend.
I really still do believe that only because the game is certain people, at least one or more people are werewolves, and you're trying to keep that hidden from everyone and convince everyone you're not a werewolf.
Yeah, because
But-
the villagers want to kill the werewolf.
Yeah, but if one werewolf gets caught, then all of them get caught, which makes it like I think it should be like only if one dies, the other ones get away. You know what I
I think
mean?
we could introduce some house rules.
Yeah, and also you don't do the part where the werewolves confirm who they are at the beginning.
I see. Well, it sounds like these are esoteric rules for an esoteric game that I don't have. So I guess I better run out to my local werewolf game store right away.
You can
And
get it
yet-
at Walmart and whatnot. It's like $20, but it's highly entertaining.
Yeah,
And it's
what's
called-
fun about it is that everyone has to lie to each other.
Yeah,
you know?
it's a
Or
bluffing game.
Yeah, you have to figure out who's not lying. Or sometimes you can just lie just to throw people off.
So
It's really fun.
It's sort of like Sheriff of Nottingham.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
It kind of a cross between Sheriff of Nottingham and Secret Hitler.
Yes. Although I've never played Secret
Yeah,
Hitler.
I'm not familiar with Secret Hitler.
Me either. I threw it out to be hip, but I know it's a game. It's very popular.
It's
That
a game
involves
where you
lying.
also bluff because you're trying not to be Hitler. or
Yeah.
something.
Tried to hide a genocide or something.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
horrifying. Anyway, so yeah, that's interesting personal news. So so the game was a hit. You found it to be enjoyable, and you would recommend 10 out of 10 stars.
Yeah. The game itself is only like 10 minutes long, like from beginning to end, but we played it for like 3 hours.
Oh wow!
So-
It just repeated over and over.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just start over, do it again.
I mean, you
Because
just
everyone
didn't-
gets a
So
different card.
Yeah,
you just didn't
you're
play
given
it
a
super
card.
long. I
No,
mean,
no.
you didn't like
No.
draw it out unnecessarily.
No,
You
So you
can't.
played
You
multiple
can't.
games.
There's
You
a
could.
there's a timer that like you have to deliberate and find out who's the werewolf within 5 minutes.
Yeah,
Oh, I see. I
Yeah.
like that though because it keeps things moving.
Yeah.
exactly. Keeps things fresh.
Yeah, we like that. We like fresh. All right, well that's terrific. So we've gone around on the personal news, haven't we? No, did you have any other personal news that you wanted to disclose?
Oh, that's it. Oh,
Not that I
Noah.
can think
He was
of
asking
off the top of my
Noah.
head.
I thought he
Okay.
said now, do you?
Well, actually,
Yeah, more people if they have more news, right, man?
Yeah, exactly. More people, more news. But Sarah, the real thing that you haven't answered that I know that our listeners are dying for an update on is what
No.
about the deluxe chicken palace with the bowling alley and the swimming pool and the advanced laser
Oh, man.
detection?
In
Yeah,
a strange
gotten
turn
to
of
that.
events, I thought you were going to ask about a murder update.
Oh, what?
I thought you were
Yeah,
too,
that's a
and that's
valid
why I supported your first answer, Sarah.
Yeah. No, I got sidetracked by some other home improvement things like building another retaining wall around my patio. So that's still slated, but I have to first replace the lamppost in the front yard. So
Wow. Okay, you've got a lot going on. So the chicken coop project is shelved for the moment.
it's just the third priority.
I see. After the retaining wall and the lamppost out front.
The retaining wall is pretty. I guess that's personal news. Me and Nick built a retaining wall this week.
Yeah, I'm having PTSD flashbacks about the fucking gnarled roots in the goddamn ground that I had to hack and saw and chisel and pray and scream and cry. But I finally got them out.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
terrific. Did you get any blisters from it? Because I was helping Elsie garden like last week, and I got a blister on the middle of the palm of my hand. It
Yeah.
was a bad one, and it looked just like stigmata.
Oh well, you should have definitely posted that to some sort of online. You should have
Social
tried to, like
Like our
place
Twitter or
yourself as the
something.
next coming of Christ and get some bags from that. But it's okay.
I mean,
No.
yeah, you really could have used the Church of Universal Energy could have really rode on that.
Yeah, well, you'd think that the Church of Universal Energy and the Infinite Multiverse could use stigmata to its advantage, wouldn't you? Except there is no per se Christ-like figure in the Church of Universal Energy and the Infinite Multiverse.
Well, there is somewhere in the infinite multiverse.
Well, that's true. I will say this though. That's a great point. Maybe I kind of fucked up there. I have to admit that. But what I will say for sure is that a Shinjo is brought to you by a Church of Universal Energy and the Infinite Multiverse. And if you don't know what that is, the only way to get our exclusive platinum level knowledge base of the church is to send us all of your money care of this podcast. We accept PayPal, Zelle, and all financial transactions that can't be traced using a government ID.
Dope. Hey, have you seen that that one preacher who looks like a demon? You know who I'm talking
No,
about?
I've not seen that one.
There's like a
preacher.
video of him who's like, "Be gone, COVID. The Lord demands that I banish you." You know who I'm talking about? He's like
No.
evil. You
No.
know?
Sounds evangelical.
Yeah, he's an evangelical preacher. He's the guy with the fucking his eyes. He's got sharp teeth. His eyes are sunken into his head. They're like two little fucking red pits.
No,
You're
I'm not-
gonna need to
Jesus.
provide a name, dude. Like
All right,
that is
hold
not
on.
a description of any person.
All
Well,
right.
there's a video of him banishing COVID-19 from the earth. Obviously, didn't work too good. I don't know his name. Evil. I'm just gonna Google evil preacher and see what comes up.
Yeah, let's figure that out.
A
Yeah,
lot of movies.
Google
Evil
yeah.
evangelical preacher is what you need.
Yeah,
Well, no
I
one needs
remember
that,
there's
actually.
one video of like this journalist like getting the drop on him as he's walking out of his church. Like, yeah, a lot of people are saying that you have a $85 million private jet. Well, how do you reconcile with that when there's people starving in your congregation and stuff? And the way he deflects it is
Epic.
epic. Yeah.
Well, very good. So speaking of like weird shit, I hit my mic with the brim of my cap. Sorry about that. But speaking of like weird shit, so more and more of my friends and associates are being, I don't know if the right word is taken in, but they are listening to and believing conspiracies based on QAnon. More and more of our friends and associates are.
Kenneth Copeland. That's who he is.
Oh, I have heard.
Kenneth Copeland. He can blow coronavirus away.
I see.
So true story. My sister's ex-sister-in-law used to work for Kenneth Copeland Ministries in Texas, and they all went to his church. And I can confirm some crazy ass fucking shit and shady shit that goes on in that church. Why they even exist as a church is just insane.
I don't get how
I think
people
our
don't
church
look
should beat
at
up
him.
their church.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Our church should kick their church's asses. But
like
you
this
look at this
picture.
picture.
Yeah.
If you Google Kenneth Copeland right now,
Okay.
he looks
I'm
like
posting it to the group chat.
he looks like a beguiling corpse. He's waxing. His teeth are fucking pointy. Okay, his eyes are pressed into his head like a claymation sculpture. And a lot of people, like even bad people, they usually don't think they're bad people. They usually
Right.
think they're doing the right thing. This fucking guy, you look at him, I'm pretty sure he knows he's evil. I'm pretty sure he's like, yeah, I'm bad. I'm evil.
Oh my God.
Yeah. I brought this up for Noah's delectation and information, and yeah, we're all pretty freaked out by him right now.
I've seen this video. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not good. It's not.
Yeah,
good.
why is there not, aren't there like legal ramifications to lying to people like that?
No. Have you lived in America long, Nick? I mean, is this your first
Yeah,
time
I thought
in the
like
country,
false
or-
advertising was a thing, like if you say your
So-
product does one thing but it actually doesn't, like
But
you
the
get in
product
trouble
is
for that.
Jesus, man.
Hey guys,
The product is the Jesusaurus Rex.
Yeah. Yes.
Hey,
Yes,
what
honey.
the hell is QAnon?
Oh,
Are you
God.
kidding me with this shit?
I don't know what that is.
Yeah. So my brother, or my
Wait. Get ready, everybody. It's going to get real.
Hold
My
on.
friend
Before we even
Tyree-
start, I need to preface your remarks, Nick, with a few remarks of my own. And
Okay.
here are the remarks. The remarks are what you're about to hear. First of all, strap in and get ready to hear the truth. And I
Yeah,
mean the
the truth.
unvarnished, the real truth that's being hidden from us by the global pedophile elites.
Did you say strap in or strap on?
I think I said strap in.
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
They're both appropriate
Strap-
in this case.
Yeah. they're
Strap
both
in your
appropriate.
strap on.
Oh, all right.
Strap in your strap on. That's pretty good, Sarah.
Strap in your strap on and strap down.
Right.
There you
Because
go.
you're going to hear Nick lay it on you. All right, Nick.
I'm not going to lay anything on you. Here's what I'll tell you from the person that I know who watches that shit. Okay. I have a very, very good friend. His name's Tyree. His brother, Gary, his older brother, Gary, who lives in Miami, who just visited from Miami, just flew here and back. He watches those videos. And let me tell you what he told me. According to them, okay, here are the facts as presented by QAnon. Bill Gates started the coronavirus, okay?
Okay. Yeah.
Bill Gates created and manufactured the coronavirus so that he can inflict it upon his slaves, us, the population, to bring the numbers of humans down, because Bill Gates and everything he does and believes in is on the Georgia Guidestones, these ancient tablets in Georgia that have, this ancient, a bunch of different like languages, old languages chiseled onto them.
Yes.
Like, so Mormonism?
no.
No, these are real. They do
They are
exist.
Okay,
real.
all right, okay.
They
they
were
do
built in the
exist.
1970s, actually.
Yeah, right. But actually they were there since before the dawn of time, right? Okay? And on these things, on the Georgia
Allegedly.
Guidestones, are
Yes.
written instructions for how to keep the population in check. Okay? Bill
Which
Gates
is true. That is what is on those Georgia Guidestones, which were assembled in the 70s by an eccentric millionaire. You can Wikipedia that for yourself.
Yeah. So, in accordance with the Georgia Guidestones, Bill Gates and the Rockefellers, the ancient, super rich, ultimate mega family, the Rockwells, the Rockefellers.
Yeah, the Rockefellers, and oh, by the way, George Soros is in on it too. Don't forget George Soros.
So they're going to make a vaccine for coronavirus, which will come included with a microchip that goes inside your body, so that I don't know.
Yeah, but that's one so they can track you at all times. But that's only one aspect of it.
Yeah, but also, and that's as I said, hey, they don't need to put a fucking microchip inside us, dude. We willingly put one in our pockets every single day. We put a tracking device on ourselves. They don't need that.
While true, here's the rest of it. The original kind of QAnon conspiracy basically said that Barack Obama, Hillary Clinton, Jeffrey Epstein, that there's a whole national ring of pedophiles that have children buried underground, and then they boil them and eat them. And there's something about their adrenal glands, that the adrenal glands of children, they eat the adrenal glands of children to keep them young. Not the children, obviously.
Which is obviously not working that well. They are all old bats. But
right.
okay.
But good news, President Trump is working behind the scenes. He's not doing it out in the open, like arresting these people and prosecuting them for boiling children. He's way smarter than that.
Yeah.
I mean,
He's
right?
building a case.
Yeah, well, actually...
No, he's just superheroing the villains.
Never mind the fact that Trump
On the
and
back
Epstein are
end.
boys. Like that there are known documented videos of them like all coked out talking to each other when they were both like 20.
Yeah,
good.
well, that's true, but that's where President Trump learned about the evil and dedicated his life to fighting it.
Yes, like the chosen one he is.
Indeed.
And your associates and friends and believe this shit?
Yeah.
Like, look,
Yeah,
I was
man.
with you. I was with you when you said there's an elite ring of people who
Who boil
you know-
children and eat their organs.
Well, no. There's an elite pedophile ring, right? Like we've
Yeah.
heard that was the whole Epstein thing to begin with, right? With you
It-
so far. But then it sure sounds like to throw salt in the eyes of whoever's looking, we're going to throw this fucking completely creepy pasta story on top of it. Like-
dude, yeah, this is what I was trying to explain to Gary. I'm like, dude, everything that you've learned, like, this is just someone. Where did you learn this? You saw it on a video on YouTube, so now that's just true. And he's like, bro, you can't like just listen to everything the government tells you. And I'm like, you are
It's
listening
not
to
the
everything.
government.
It doesn't
You're
matter,
not
dude.
fact checking your own shit.
Dude, even if you fact check, like I say this all the fucking time. It's like a game of telephone, right? Have you ever played telephone? Within 5 people, the story gets fucked off. If you are not there in the room when it happens,
If you
no
don't
one
have the academic
actually
paper.
knows. Yeah, no one actually knows what fucking happened. Everything you know, someone just told you. You know, you just choose to believe or not. You know,
Yeah. Well,
aside
Elsie,
from you putting your hand on a stove or something.
listen, Elsie and I were in the hot tub when we heard it all explained to us.
Oh,
So if it's explained to you in a hot tub,
well, that's
it's
exclusive,
obviously,
actually.
yeah,
Were
that
you-
is
were you being-
conclusive.
I will
Were you
say
being-
this.
Yes.
So to provide a little explanation, I've been hearing your father and I have both been kind of being sent things from QAnon for a while via Facebook Messenger, this and that. Your dad's actually been reading them and watching them to just be informed. I'm not, because I just can't deal with stupid. So we're at this party yesterday, and these friends of ours, she's going to law school. She's very intelligent, does a lot of research on a lot of things. She's my girl who's going to beat up my neighbors, for those who remember that. So, like, the fact that somebody who does that much research and is that intelligent is willing to go down the rabbit hole at all in the first place and then start to believe it is just insane.
So here's my question, because I've been wondering this the entire time. Nobody ever explained, what is QAnon?
It's an online conspiracy group. In fact, the original Q alleges that he was or is in the inside of the White House and he's leaking information to those who are in the know.
Oh, okay.
And so he
like
started on
WikiLeaks.
4chan, migrated to 8chan, and then whatever
Yeah,
that's become.
It was all a 4chan thing at the beginning. It was definitely because Anon is what they refer to each other as on 4chan. It was all some big, and it's, dude, what I think it is, what I really think it is that it's just some dude, or maybe like a dude and his buddies who like were just doing all this like for funsies, and now like it's getting traction, and they're like getting like maybe some sponsorships, maybe like a little bit of cheddar for this, so they're just like continuing to do it, and now maybe they believe it themselves too. But
it's
who
even
knows?
more than that, right?
Here's-
So I would estimate that probably 30% of the population believes this, maybe more.
Okay, well, and this is what I was also trying to explain to Gary. Like, don't you, like, I do believe that there is something going on. You know, when everyone is so super, I've said this before, like when you're super duper rich forever, you were born into dynasty money, you know, you start doing weird shit. You start making weird clubs doing weird shit. I'm sure there are weird, fucked up things going on at high levels, okay? But like,
that was the whole Epstein thing.
right. Well, there's more than that, I'm sure. There's levels to everything. But like, do you think that they're just like some dude is just they're just going to release that information on YouTube? Here's what I would do if I was in those clubs. I would release misinformation. I would I would pay a guy to make those videos to make everyone think we're lizard people and that we're like creating the plague and shit. So your eyes are over here on this ridiculous shit that actually has no proof and is not happening. While sleight of the hand, we're over here doing boiling children and eating their organs or whatever the fuck it is.
But that's the argument, right? The argument is that COVID-19 is the salt in the eyes while we're doing all this other shady shit. So, I mean, you know what the real truth is? The real unvarnished truth is that the information operational tools that are available to every human being, including you and me, are so powerful that the current battleground for the future of humanity is reality itself.
Yeah, it's true. But my main point is that I don't think you should believe anything. If you weren't there, you should take everything with a big fucking grain of salt, you know? If you weren't there to see it. It's like when you would have an argument with a friend, right? You get in a fight with a friend and another friend, like months later or weeks later, maybe even days, like, wow, I heard this, and this happen. And you're like, what? That didn't fucking happen. It wasn't like that. But, you know, it just gets distorted down the line of people. People embellish details. They make shit up. Then, like, you hear someone you trust say some shit, and you're like, okay, well, it must be true if they're saying it. And then you propagate that narrative, you know. You can't believe anything unless you saw it yourself, is what I'm saying.
I agree with that. But in this day and age, there's no expectation that you're going to be able to witness all of the complexities of this earth with your own eyes. And so we rely on what we consider to be trusted sources of information. And those trusted sources of information may or may not reflect reality, because the information tools make even the most ridiculous things seem unbelievably real.
Yeah, there's a grain of truth in everything, I'm sure. There's no smoke without fire, right? But like, if you try to put yourself in the position of these people whose ancient arcane secrets are now suddenly being revealed on the internet, would it not be within your best interest to like spread misinformation, to like pump everything full of so much wacky shit that you can't differentiate what the real and what isn't, what the real shit is, what isn't?
Perhaps, but what I will tell you is that in the past it was very difficult to control all the sources of information, it wasn't so difficult to control all the sources of information. In fact, in totalitarian regimes in the 30s and 40s, controlling all the sources of information was incredibly easy because there were so few of them. What's different today is that, you could tell propaganda because it looked fake. Today, propaganda looks real. And so it is impossible to tell with the naked eye and with your own little rat brain what's real and what's not. And if you're managing a complex society and you don't have an agreed upon basis of reality, you know what you have? A recipe for chaos, which is what we are seeing unraveling even before our eyes.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, but, any amount of critical thinking can, you shouldn't just believe this shit, is all I'm saying. Like, I know that it's hard to tell what's real and what's not, but if you can't tell, then the safest option is just to assume that most of it is not real. Don't take anything too fucking seriously because you weren't there, so you don't know,
Mm-hmm. Well, that's true. I mean, when I boiled those babies, I was in the next room when they were boiled.
I was going to ask if you guys were served drinks by nubile, young, mostly naked,
naked. I like that. Very
servants.
Very Midwestern.
While you were in the hot tub.
No, because they're not in on it. All right, they just know about it. They're not.
I thought maybe they were just blind to their own contributions to this problem.
And wouldn't the all-knowing lizard people just execute QAnon as soon as he, like, do they not have the mystical power of finding this motherfucker and killing him?
Look,
they can do all this other shit. They can boil children's adrenal glands out of their nostrils and suck them up with a straw, but they can't find QAnon, huh?
Well, apparently not. No,
okay.
But just FYI. Just FYI, and you can check it out for yourself, dude. Don't trust me, man. Look it up on the internet for yourself. But Ellen and Hillary Clinton are under house arrest currently.
And Tom Hanks is dead.
Tom Hanks is dead. I forgot about that. But Tom Hanks is definitely dead. I think Elsie's doing sit-ups and push-ups.
No, QAnon thinks that Tom Hanks is dead, but in reality, he's kicking back with Michael Jackson and Tupac on some beaches of Argentina, drinking fucking,
coming up with some mad raps.
Yeah, drinking rum out of a fucking coconut with a little umbrella in it.
Right. That's served to him by an 115-year-old waiter named Adolf Hitler.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, great. Well, I'm glad we wrapped up that conspiracy. But I will tell you, it is deeply disturbing to me to see that we can't tell what the truth is unless you listen to this podcast.
Right.
Then, and only then, will you know the truth, and the truth will set you free.
Yeah, it will. Don't you
get woke, y'all?
Yeah, get woked.
And give me all your fucking money.
That's a big one. That's the number one.
That's the key to gaining enlightenment right there. Send all your money to care of this podcast.
Relinquish you first have to relinquish all your physical ties to this earth, but you can't just give those resources to the lizard people. You don't want those to fall into the wrong hands, do you?
Not at all.
Or boiled children? Of course you don't. So you give all your fucking money and valuable possessions to us. Safekeeping, proper spandage. Okay?
Thank you.
Lights on.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for that, Nick. I appreciate that very much.
Pastor Nick, thank you.
So, well, right.
Archbishop.
Promoted yourself quick there.
Archbishop Nicholas.
Right. Well, I mean, when profit just isn't enough, Archbishop will do. So
Archbishop.
Archbishopric.
Yeah,
It's
keep
the
going.
bishopric of Nick. All right. So So then the other thing that I thought was interesting that I saw in the news, the guy who wrote Black Swan. Anyone ever heard of that book?
I've heard of it.
I remember
watched
the movie.
No, that was a ballet movie starring Natalie Portman, as I recall.
Yeah. Okay. So
Yeah,
they're
the-
different.
Oh, so
Okay.
it's not the same thing?
No, it's
Oh, never mind. No,
Yeah,
that's
it's-
what I've heard.
I fully thought it was the same thing.
yeah.
I
Okay.
same.
All right. Well, no, it's not that. It's a book about how unexpected events disrupt societies, right? And the guy who wrote it is a guy named like Nali or Rububini or something like that. Anyway, I suppose I could actually get the title if I was so inclined. But the point of the matter is that this Joker, Nali Mrumla Boomla, or whatever his name is, anyway, he predicted the 2008 housing market crash. So he's considered to be something of a guru. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And so what he predicts is that in the next 10 years, it's going to be a real shit show. I mean, I'm summing up here basically, but he's essentially predicting a period of, frankly, great disruption no, it's not the guy. It's not the same guy. No, it's a totally different guy. This is a lie. I'm lying to you.
All right, some jack off just saying that
Yes,
everything's going to be
yes.
fucked off. Well, but also, hey, I don't think we need some sort of economic Jesus to tell us that everything's going to be fucked off. It's just snowballing. It's been snowballing. I think, I don't like to get too political, but I think when we elected a reality TV star to be the commander-in-chief, to hold the nuclear codes, that kind of heralded the downfall, Everything from
Republic?
here on out, of this country as we know it. Everything from here on out is just going to...
You say that, but I will tell you that about 46% of Americans strongly disagree with you.
But what does that fucking matter if the goddamn building is crumbling? We can all disagree or not agree, but the shit's still coming down while we're sitting here agreeing or not agreeing,
Yeah, but the question is, whose fault is it and what do we do? And so as a result, if you have basically two sides of the country, basically 50% of the country thinks one thing, a smaller percentage, but still a huge percentage, say 45%, believes something diametrically opposed to what the 50% believes, and 5% don't know what to believe. How in the world do you ever do anything that actually makes a difference?
Well, we don't. And I don't know whose fault it is, but the question of what do we do is the most important question. We gotta
I
get
tell you
the
what,
fuck out of here, dude. Let's get the fuck out of here.
Yeah,
Let's gotta get
all
out
this-
of here. Let's go to Canada. Fuck.
Hey,
Yeah,
what's
because
up?
they have all their shit figured out.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
There's an
know.
alt-right in Canada, too, eh?
Oh, see, he threw that A. That was a gratuitous A, I think. I think.
Man, fuck you.
I just think we're fucking America's gonna eat itself alive here within the next 20 years, like for real.
You know what that sounds like? It sounds like a problem for Gen Z to solve.
For them to solve, but we're all gonna be fucking in it. Like we're all going to be geographically here in America when the shit hits the fan. I don't know what
I'm
going to
make you listen, Nick. I'm going to make you listen to this podcast I listened to about the next impending civil war. It'll really just throw your shit all.
And then what
topsy-turvy.
happens when a world power like America goes into civil war in this day and age? What happens? What do the other countries think when they're watching that?
We're
Have you
not
watched
going into
The
civil
Handmaid's
war.
Tale?
Yeah, we're not devolving into The Handmaid's Tale. We are not devolving into.
How
civil
can
war.
you be sure, though? 10 years ago, if someone was like, hey, you know that the guy from The Apprentice, I bet you he's going to be fucking president of the United States one day. You know what you would say? You would say, he's not going to be fucking president of the United States. That's impossible. Who the fuck would vote for that guy? Here we are. He's about to win his second term in a row, baby.
So true.
Well, so that just goes to show you how exciting life is. You just
Shit.
never know.
You remember The Road? That movie, The Road?
Yeah, the most depressing movie ever filmed.
Yeah, that's how
Yeah.
exciting life is going to be here in a while. Don't know if it's in 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, some shits. We can't, this is not sustainable, you know? It's just not. There's no way.
Yeah,
This
the road.
divisiveness, like, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. So The Road, for those of you who have not read it, if you really want to be just bummed out and feel better about your life, read The Road. Speaking of boiling children, there's a whole thing in there about roasting babies on spits for food.
Yeah, and the movie's pretty fucked off, too.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah.
But it's got Viggo Mortenstein in it, so...
Yes.
Well, yeah, Mr. Lord of the Rings himself, and never looking more handsome.
No, even, yeah, it looks... So that eases the sting of The Road a little
Glorious
bit.
jawline.
Yeah, it does ease the sting to see his face, you know?
Yeah, just to know he's there,
Yeah.
walking us through this.
Thanks, Vigo.
Where's Viggo Mortenstein right now? Can we make him president? Maybe he can haul us out of this.
I think he's Australian.
No, I don't think so. I think he's Danish.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's
Look, the
definitely
point is
not
that
American.
he's not, not American.
So, fuck it.
Well, that's what fans of Arnold Schwarzenegger would say.
Oh boy.
Let's make Arnie president. Arnie.
You know what? See,
Okay.
you're on the right track here. You really are. You're
Let's
really
just make someone cool president. Fuck it.
Well, some people would argue that we did that in 2016.
Exactly.
Yeah, some people would argue that. In fact, 45% of Americans would. Hey, speaking of which, I'm thinking very strongly about voting third party, and who I'm thinking about is Jay-Z.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
I'd
ahead.
take
Throw
Jay-Z
your
as
vote away.
president.
throw your
Yeah,
vote away.
What's his platform?
What's his platform? His platform is dropping hot beats, man. That's
You don't know shit about it, dude. You know, dude. You're just like Jay-Z. Fuck it. I'd go for Jay-Z.
I'd go
which
for
is fair.
Jay-Z.
That's a fair-
If Jay-Z
yeah.
was on the ballot, I'm voting for Jay-Z.
Yeah, if
for
I
sure.
didn't know anything else and it was just Jay-Z, I'd pick fucking Jay-Z.
Yeah,
you know
for
what I mean?
sure. Look, our
is how
options are a shit sandwich and a giant douche. Those are our two options.
You
South
mean
Park
right now.
had this down in
in
fucking-
2015.
Yep,
Yeah.
that's exactly right.
That was
Yeah,
like 2010 or even before. It was an
Oh.
early season, but doesn't matter. Literally,
Yes.
our options are a celebrity, like a TV personality, or a man with dementia. Those are our options.
Really, it could be
choose.
argued that both have dementia.
Rapidly increasing dementia on both sides, just fucking eating away. Like
All right, so
both ends.
that does beg the question, though. What famous person or what cool person would you want to be president?
Michelle Obama.
A comedian for sure. Some
Mich-
comedian.
Okay, so first of all, Sarah has a sensible suggestion. Michelle Obama. You know, sure, we'll have to untangle her from the child boiling ring first, but once we clear her of all those charges, Michelle Obama.
No. She's a woman. She's not smart enough to be involved in the pedophile ring.
No, she is.
Her husband shields her from that.
No, she's the one who
Feeds
holds the
her-
trays with the juice and the snacks.
Well, she doesn't know what's on the trays.
And she wears the pharaoh mask, you know. Everyone, it's the whole eyes wide shut thing. What's the
All right.
password?
So I did like Michelle Obama as a suggestion. All right, how about you, Nick?
I'm going to go with Nick Swardson.
Holy shit.
Who's Nick Swardson?
He's a very funny comedian.
I see. Okay.
He's got a lot of potty humor.
Okay. Fine. Well, I don't know anything about that. We certainly don't talk about any scatological subjects on this podcast.
Look, the fact that you said scatological subjects instead of potty humor illustrates the difference between you and Nick Swardson.
Fair enough. Okay, very good. That's probably where you stole the shitting hat idea from. Am I right?
No, that's all original, baby. That's all me.
Fantastic. I already know who Noah's going to say, but I'm just going to go ahead.
Who am I going to say?
Justin Trudeau, obviously.
No, dude. No. I was going to say Elon Musk.
Elon Musk.
Oh, hey, did we ever talk about Elon fucking Musk naming his kid a random set of numbers and letters?
Well, before we get into that, we haven't heard.
You want that man to be the president? Okay.
Yeah, I want to swap one crazy for another crazy.
Another
Okay.
kind of crazy. You
A
know what?
different kind.
It couldn't possibly be worse.
I think we need crazy. I just
Yeah.
think we have the wrong kind of crazy.
Smart crazy.
Yes, we need smart crazy.
Yeah, you know what? I'd take it.
Yeah, we need crazy like a fox versus
He's
crazy,
South African, though.
Yeah, like a shithouse.
Yeah,
rabbit.
I know. This is all
Yeah.
pipe dream.
Okay. Well, so much for so that dream goes right down the South African toilet. All right. So Elsie, your fun pick for president.
I think Bill Gates would be the perfect answer to just drive the QAnon people totally insane.
That is true.
But my
Into
other
a
more fun
raging
choice,
froth.
right? But my fun choice just for me would be Edward Norton Jr. So I could just see him as my president all the time.
Edward Norton Jr. What a great choice.
Wait. What did Edward Norton? If the guy in Fight Club, he's Junior.
Yeah, he is.
Oh, I never knew that. I always thought it was just Edward Norton. Didn't know he was Junior.
Yeah, you should see Edward Norton Sr. Oh my God, what a specimen.
Is he anyone of any consequence? Was he ever in a
No,
movie?
no,
Okay.
not to my knowledge.
Okay.
I did
Actually,
think
his parents are like professors at a university in the local area or something. Very, very smart people.
Cool.
I did think that Elsie just wanted the handsome man's baby as president. I you know what? I'm here for it.
What do you
No.
mean the handsome man's baby? For
Yeah, I don't
president?
understand that comment at all.
I don't get it. Could you mansplain it to me, please?
Yeah.
Well, you see, when somebody is called junior, that typically means that they're, of the same lineage as someone with the same name.
Yes.
And like
Right.
Nicholas, I only understood Edward Norton as Edward Norton, not Edward Norton
Oh,
Jr.
so you thought that Junior would be Edward Norton, a.k.a. the coolest Hulk's child.
Yes.
That's also what I first assumed.
Oh, I see. Okay.
That
Wow. Okay.
Thank you for mansplaining that because I did not get it.
too, though. Yeah. You
See,
could have
that's
been a
all.
little bit more condescending, but
It just doesn't come as naturally to me after being, it should though, after being condescended to
yeah,
so
Endlessly.
often.
You're gonna have to
Endlessly.
work
So
on that.
often.
Yeah.
An infinite fount.
All right. So we have as suggestions for the cool president, Jay-Z, Elon Musk,
Oh yeah.
no joy because he's South African.
Oh come on now.
We could bend those rules.
Well, we probably could.
Yeah.
Some crazy comedian, Nick Zaginga. What's his name?
Wow.
Swartzen.
Nick Swartzen.
Nick Swartzen.
Nick Zaginga. Are you fucking kidding me?
He's a little racist.
German name.
Right. Nick Schwanstucker.
Okay.
Wow.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, and
No, I'm not even. No, I like yours better.
Michelle Obama and Edward Norton Jr., who may or may not be the actor or the actor's baby. Either one, your choice.
And Bill Gates.
And Bill Gates. Yeah, I forgot. So of those potential choices, I think Edward Norton and Bill Gates are the only one and Jay-Z that are seriously in the running.
Wait, I want to change my answer.
Okay.
Michelle Obama isn't seriously in the running.
I forgot. We had a lot of answers.
Well, I
flowing.
mean, you're a woman, Sarah. Come on
Yeah.
now.
Yeah, so you get
Sorry.
2/3 of a vote.
Got it.
1/3 of a
Some
vote.
sort of 3/5 compromise. Is that what's happening here?
That's actually a little bit different situation. But anyway, I'm changing my answer to Benjamin Franklin's rotten bones. Just a pile of old, decrepit bones, like
Yeah.
rotted, not well preserved.
I want to see
They've
his
been
press
in the ground.
secretary.
Yeah, and it's just on the chair at the Oval Office.
Right. President Ben Franklin's bones.
Actually, I got another person I think, but
Yeah.
it's probably impossible. But what if Bernie Sanders ever tried to come back again?
Oh, no. Bernie. Yeah, he's out.
I know.
He's
Bernie
out.
Sanders asshole.
Never go his bones. How about his rotting bones when he finally kicked
Two
it?
still
We're gonna have to
socialists
wait a while for
America.
them to rot.
Yeah. Right. I'm afraid his rotting bones are way
It was
too
still too
socialist,
far
too
left,
far to
all
the
right.
left.
Too fresh.
Yeah.
Far too fresh.
All right. Well, if any of those people get elected, we'll tell you all about it right here on this podcast. But in the meantime, I guess I would just ask, what do y'all got cooking for the week? It's Memorial Day week or something. It's the first unofficial week of summer. What do you got? What do you got brewing?
It's only 5 more days till summer. Let me tell you something. Back when the gyms were still open, that song would be playing all the time in the gym. It's only 5 more days till summer. You might be wondering, what are the other words? That's it. There are no other words. It's only 5 more days till summer. Take me away. That's it for like 5 minutes straight. And I hate it. Okay, I'm on the fucking rowing machine and I just hear it. It's only 5 more days till summer. I'm like, who the fuck made this song? But I look up on the TV and the music video for the song is playing. Fucking Lenny Kravitz, dude. Come on.
Yeah.
Pissed me off.
You expect more
Kravitz's
from
supposed to
Lenny.
be a good musician. Yeah.
Well, it's a hit. A hit. You just got to go where the hook is for the
Only
hit.
5 more days till summer. Here,
All right.
I wanna read this real quick. It's just a little bit of trivia. I said I've been watching Avatar again, which I
Yeah.
have
The
fucking
Last
great
Airbender.
show. And I just saw the other day on Reddit that it was a TIL that Avatar: The Last Airbender won a Peabody Award for, quote, multi-dimensional characters, unusually complicated personal relationships for a cartoon serial, and a healthy respect for the consequences of warfare.
Oh, it won a Peabody Award.
Yes.
Wow. Well, I guess
Now
I
you may
better
be
watch
thinking, what the
It's a
fuck
great
is a
show.
Peabody Award? I don't know.
it. Well, it's
I
an
don't know
award
how
for Mr.
easy-
Peabody, obviously.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
don't know how easy or hard or significant,
Does
those
Mr.
are. But
Peabody have an army of penguins?
I don't know, but he has an army of awards. We know
Okay.
that. Yeah.
yeah.
So how-
Handed to the recipients by penguins?
Yeah, well, obviously by
I don't
penguins.
know where you're getting this penguin thing from.
Yeah,
I
me
don't know.
neither.
Mr. Peabody's penguins just sounded like.
Is
a
that the
good
one where the
thing.
dude like?
That was
if-
Mr. Popper's penguins.
Yeah, where he
Oh.
kidnaps the penguins from the zoo and he
It's-
keeps them in his
it-
basement. And
There's
then,
it's Jim Carrey, isn't it? In that movie.
I think so. Yeah.
Well, it was a book. I remember reading
Well,
the
I
book. I
didn't-
think they made a movie out of it. Yeah, but some guy just and I was trying to describe the premise of this book to someone, and they were like, so what the fuck is the book even? It's just a guy with penguins, and I'm like, yeah, you know what? Like I'm
Who
trying
hands
to,
out awards?
No.
No,
I think-
like
no,
in the
I-
book,
I don't-
the
I think-
motherfucker kidnapped a bunch of penguins from a zoo and just kept them in his basement. Like
It's
tried
like a
to make
kiddie
his
pool
basement
full of ice. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
he
do
tried
kinda
to make it.
remember
And
that.
then the ending of the book is that he can't keep penguins in his basement because they're not meant to live in a basement. So he has to release them to where they're supposed to go.
Which is obviously a zoo.
To
Yeah.
the meat grinder
Where they belong.
for some penguin sausage.
Right. Delicious. Just delicious. All right. So, yeah, Mr. Penguin's Poppers. So you're going to be watching The Last Airbender in the next week.
Well, I'm almost done with it now. There's only 3 seasons. There's only 60 episodes total. I'm on like episode 50 something.
I see. Well,
But
that'll,
and I'm gonna say this to you, Dad. Also, Parasite, that fucking show I was talking about, is
Yes.
now on Netflix in its entirety. So
yes.
Yeah,
show
I saw
has
the
zero
trailer
filler
for
in it.
that.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
Jesus,
did you like the
dude.
trailer?
No, no. That
didn't
is some
like the
creepy
trailer?
looking shit.
Why didn't you like it?
Because the thing is like on his fucking hand, dude. That thing, right?
That's
Isn't
not
that
a
the
very
thing?
good description, though.
Okay, but
You're not,
it
like,
is,
giving
I'm
me
thinking
anything.
about the right thing, though. Right?
Yeah,
You
you're
know-
thinking
you know
about
what
the
fuck
right
I'm
thing.
talking about.
Yeah, what it is that an alien spores are released on this town, and they're supposed to land in your head and like transform your fucking like head. It like takes over your brain, so the alien's like taking you over, but your head
Yeah.
like opens up and changes form. But this one spore fucks up in its mission and lands on this kid's hand. So it like changes his hand, and the thing tells him, he's like, yeah, I was supposed to land on your head. And the guy like tries to obviously kill the thing on his hand, but it's like, it's really,
Yeah.
you should watch the trailer, Dad.
All right. Okay. Well, we'll watch the trailer, and that'll give me something to do this
Noah,
week.
direct him towards the trailer.
Yeah, I'll direct you.
Okay. All right. So, so Sarah, what are you doing this week besides, finishing up a retaining wall and a lamp and getting the chicken construction underway?
That's it.
Okay. All right. Well,
You
good. I
pretty much
guess you
summed
got
it
a
up.
good summary there.
Got a full schedule.
Yeah. What about you, Elsie? Anything going on this week?
Dick.
Okay. Good. All right. We'll
Nice.
we'll enjoy that. And then,
Oh, I like the wheel.
Yeah.
I like
We'll
the wheel.
enjoy that together.
I hope. I mean, but no guarantees, obviously. Noah, how about you? What about you?
Well, I'm in the area.
Yeah, you're in the
for-
area.
for the week.
Okay.
And then I'm going back to Florida,
Okay.
and that's about all I got going on, man.
Okay. That sounds pretty good. I'm going to go back to work on Tuesday, not a day earlier, after the Memorial Day festivities, the fandango, if you will. And, that'll be my week, I think. There's some other things going on, but nothing significant to my knowledge. So, it looks like we've all got a pretty sedate week. Absent the dick, obviously.
You didn't ask me what I was doing.
Yeah, I figured you were watching, cartoons.
I would like you to formally ask me what's on my schedule this week.
Nick, what do you got going on this week?
Dick.
Getting back into your webcam thing? Is that what's your web girl? Webcam
yeah,
girl.
that didn't really take off like I thought it would. Actually, I know this might come as a shock to you guys, but
Yeah, a big shock. I'm
people
surprised.
weren't really a big fan of the whole helicopter thing because that's pretty much that's the only move I
I
got.
told you
really.
gotta ease into that.
You got to get your whole strip routine down.
I guess
you
you're
know
right.
what I'm
You
saying?
can't just throw a fucking frog into boiling water, but
No, you gotta raise that temperature gradually, son. That's
nice
well
and
known.
gradual.
all right.
Okay.
Well. In the meantime, until next week, we'll look forward to seeing you then. A Shin Show is a production of Shinfluence. It is a Shin Show. It's a production of Shinfluence. Oh yeah, and it features the voices and of opinions of man. I'm not there. All there for this outro this time. I mean, the harmonica was good, but anyway, the point is that the voices and opinions that you hear are of the Shin family, and they are entirely and exclusively their own. There's no voices dubbed in. There's no opinions that are anybody else's but the people on this podcast. There you go. It's brought to you by Ziff's, fine dining in a relaxed continental atmosphere in Invercargill, New Zealand, and by the Church of Universal Energy and the Infinite Multiverse. Send us all your money. It's also brought to you by our 5 listeners, Ben, Danielle, Chris, super important. Shout out to Chris. And by Cindy and by one other person that I'm missing. Who am I missing? Oh, I can't remember now who I'm missing. That's only 4. Anyway, so, it's brought to you by those listeners, because without those listeners, we'd still do it. Right?
Yeah, we do like to just listen to our damn selves.
That's true. We'd listen ourselves. So be sure and join us again next week, won't you? When you'll hear Noah McCone say,
Hi.
yeah, you'll hear him say that. And if you do, you'll hear it right here on A Shin Show. Good talk, kids.
Good talk.
Good talk, Elsie.
Thanks.
Love you. Bye.